Today we're going to do the top 10 native allies in Age of Empires 3. These are the minor civilizations that you can ally with via trade post, and then you can train their units, and you can get their upgrades as well. So I had you guys take a poll, and I constructed from my opinion, and from the poll I kind of combined both into the top 10 civs. So we're going to start with number 10 and work our way down to number 1. At number 10 we have the Carib. These guys are located on the Caribbean, Hispaniola, and Orinoco. So as you can see there, with that first one, you get 50% hit point bonus on top of all the regular upgrades. Next one there is archers get 1.0 times bonus attack versus villagers, and then infantry and archers get 10% attack. And then finally, the Carib ambush party is the big one there. You can train them from your explorer. So this is pretty big time because of that 1.0 attack versus villagers. You can get your explorer to go back into your enemy's base, and you can train them from your explorer and then get some villi kills out that. Kind of do some raids. So that's pretty useful in that way. And then the archer bonuses are also nice as well. And then the Caribs themselves are pretty decent units. But I put these guys in number 10 because they're on more unknown maps with the Caribbean, Hispaniola, and Orinoco. They're not played as much, but with that ability to be able to train them from your explorer and then go into the back of the map, that was pretty useful. So that's why we have them at number 10. At number 9, we have the Bhakti Temple. These guys are common on the Silion, Deccan, Himalayas, and Silk Road maps. And as you can see there, they got tire claws. Their first upgrade is Yoga, which infantry and cavalry get 5% attack. The next one is, for their tire claws, they get 50% hit point bonus. And then the last one is Vegetarianism, which your settlers and villagers gather from berry bushes 40% faster. This one's pretty solid, especially if you're stuck in a pinch. I think it could really boost your economy up, getting that 40% bonus. So that's why I chose this one at number 9, because of how helpful that can be. Of course, the 5% attack is great as well. Their units are not too good. They're good against light infantry and cavalry, like a light cavalry unit. So they're not too strong, but they do the job. And if you're in a pinch, I highly suggest using these guys for their vegetarianism upgrade. Next up is the Cherokee. These guys are located on the Bayou, Carolina, Ozark, and New England maps. The first upgrade there is a Cherokee War Dance, which increases native warrior speed by 20%. The next one ships 4 settlers for 200 wood and 200 coin. And their final one there, for 100 food and 100 coin, your dock, mill, market, and plantation upgrades no longer cost any wood. So those are some pretty decent upgrades there. The villager one is especially nice, and so is the improvements with no wood. And then on top of this, the Cherokee have some pretty decent riflemen as well. Let's check their stats out right here. And as you can see, they're pretty decent. Once they get fully upgraded to legendary status, they do a decent job as well. It's nice to have a skirmisher unit that costs wood. And of course, they don't take up any population being native, so that is also a great perk as well. At number 7, we have the Jesuit Mission. Their first upgrade there is that buildings get 20% more hit points. Second one is that gunpowder units get 30% more siege attack. And finally, their last one for Christian schools, villagers and settlers train 15% faster for only 100 wood and 100 coin. So there's some really great upgrades there. The train time especially is nice, and to have the extra hit points and the extra siege attack is always nice as well. But these guys are very good because they're Conquistador. It's like a Dragoon-like unit, and being able to train one of those if your civilization might not have a Dragoon could be a very viable option. And then that combined with the good upgrades that they do have is why I have them at number 7. Just ahead of them at number 6 is the Zen Temple. These guys can be found on Silion, Honshu, Silk Road, and Yellow River. They have the Sohi, which is a pike-like unit, kind of like the warrior monks from Shogun 2 Total War. Their first upgrade there is Meditation. It gives 1000 XP. Master Lessons give infantry 10% melee attack bonus. And then Meritocracy gives unit upgrades a subtract 20 cost, so you get 20% cheaper unit upgrades with these guys. That combined with the Meditation with 1000 XP is why I put these guys at number 6. They're 2 fantastic upgrades to get and well worth buying a trade post at this site. Additionally, their pikes are decent. They're pretty standard, so nothing special there. Up next are the Zapotecs. This is the civilization that replaced the Aztecs from the vanilla, as the Aztecs became a playable civ in the War Chiefs expansion. So you'll see these guys on the Amazon, Orinoco, and the Yucatan. And then they have some great upgrades as well. Their first one ships 100 wood for every 2 minutes the game has passed, up to 30 minutes. Then they have melee infantry, get 20% more attack. And then settlers and villagers gather wood 10% faster. So I put these guys at number 5 because of the 100 wood every 2 minutes has passed upgrade there. That is fantastic to have late game when you can get imperial upgrades, and especially when wood could be hard to find on the map. Additionally, their 2 other upgrades are great to have as well, with the food bonus and the melee infantry bonus. And then finally, their warriors are pretty decent on the battlefield, but not as good as the upgrades that they can get. That is why they put them at number 5. Now we're into the final 4. All these are very good native allies, but at number 4 we do have the Sufi Mosque. These guys have the War Elephant, which is the most powerful native unit that you can get in the game. You can only make 6 of them per mosque, or trade post though. And these guys are basically lighter versions of the Mahout Lancers. They're very good because they scare your opponent. If they see elephants coming in, they're probably like, what on earth is going there? But first upgrade there is Pilgrimage. You get 1 fattened goat for every 2 minutes in game length. You have Fasting, where settlers and villagers lose 40% health, but they gather resources 10% faster. And then Sharia gives your settler villager build limit plus 10%. So they got some pretty good ones there. The Pilgrimage is great because the goats are fattened when you receive them. And then the War Elephants are very good as well. So those combined upgrades put them at number 4. In third are the Inca. They can be found on the Andes, Araucana, and Pampas maps. These guys are especially good because of their 2 units, but let's look at their upgrades first. They got a 20% increase to coin gathering on coin mines, 25% train time for infantry and cavalry, / 10% train time on artillery upgrade, and they also get 20% speed boost for infantry. These guys are fantastic with their bolas. They are the only unit in the game that have a ranged slash attack, and then their pike guys are decent as well. I highly recommend these guys, and I put them at number 3 because they had 2 units, and their upgrades are pretty good all around as well. Now at number 2, we do have the Cree, highly voted on, and it's not too surprising why. These guys can be found in the Great Lakes, Saguenay, and the Yukon maps. And as you can see, they can train Coeur de Bois as well as a Cree tracker. And you can train up to 5 Coeur de Bois, and they act just as like a French villager does. So it's great to get these guys if you are not France, and even if you are France, you can get 5 more villagers, so that's awesome. But yeah, you get a really nice villager, and then you get some pretty decent upgrades as well. You get Cree Tanning, increases cavalry and infantry hit points by 5%. Cree Kingship, you get to build 50% more Cree trackers. And then Cree Textile Craftsmanship, buildings cost minus 25% wood, so you get some cheaper buildings there as well. The Cree trackers are especially pretty good. I've seen them used in multiplayer several times, and they always do a great job. And then with that 50% increase, you get to produce more of them as well. So that is fantastic, knowing that these guys don't cost any population, and then you also get the Coeur de Bois with them. It's a great combination, and it's not too surprising they're at number 2. Coming in at number 1, who else could it be but the Cheyenne? Replacing the Lakota from the vanilla version. These guys have some fantastic upgrades. Cheyenne Fury gives their riders 2 times bonus versus other cavalry. Their horse trading gives 40% decrease in train time for cavalry. And then Cheyenne Hunting Grounds ship 12 bison for only 150 wood and 150 coin. Those last 2 upgrades are what give the Cheyenne this spot. And their cavalry are pretty decent as well. They're the only cavalry in the game that have a bonus versus other cavalry. So they're kind of like a spear cavalry in a sense, which is really cool to see. But having these guys on the Great Plains, on the Great Lakes, and on the Rockies, they're pretty common maps, so especially with the Great Plains, and having that commonality with the instant cavalry is what gives these guys the number 1 spot. Those are the top 10 native allies that you could side with in Age of Empires 3. When I ranked these, I took into account their upgrades, their units, how good of a bang for buck they are, and also I took into account their commonality across maps, and combined that to make that ranking. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and as always, I'm thankful for you guys watching. Before you leave, the next video I'm going to do are the most overpowered strategies in Age of Empires 3. Any strategy is up for grabs. Let me know what strategy you think is the best, and then I'm going to rank them once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.